Whoa, thank you, brother. That was that was awesome. And I would like to think that our church here, we're all just brothers and sisters, and that we could all just call on anyone when we need anything, because that's what it's all about. That's community. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So we're doing a series on the Beatitudes. Cindy started off last week. So the Beatitude I'm going to go with is the fourth one. It's blessed are those who hunger and thirst for justice. They will be satisfied. Jesus is using these Beatitudes as teaching tools for the people because he's seeking to shift them from mere human consciousness into their divine awareness or spiritual consciousness. And the way that they had been living for thousands of years didn't do too much for their self-esteem. They'd been imprisoned, slaves, captured for thousands of years. And so they probably had a lot of faulty thoughts within their consciousness. And we know what we create within this dimension, don't you? So to begin to move that mass of humanity to shift and to lift a little bit, he gave these little guidelines. So, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for justice, for they shall be satisfied. And so, those who hunger and thirst for justice is the people we're seeking at. The people were seeking justice and truth. And what was happening, they were pretty, the times were pretty tough then. And they were just catching it all the way down. And so they needed it, they were seeking it. And that's why their petition to God, really from their heart and love, is what drew Jesus Christ to the planet. So that he could be that brother to share with them that they could call upon any time, you know. So people wanted to just be treated fairly. And don't we all just want to be treated fairly? And it's hard for us to really understand or really comprehend what times were like when then, because I don't think movies do it justice. And so we studied the Aramaic with Rocco, and we've got all these books and things like that. And it really gives you a picture and insight into the way that they did live and how hard it was. We couldn't even imagine that. So he's given them these new teachings to shift them a little bit, okay? And the Beatitudes are about love and about going within to God. Love and going within to God, because their whole world was externally based. God was out there. And then their idea of God wasn't that happy of an idea. So he's trying to expand them a little bit and lift them out of, you know, their past. One of the first things that people always ask Jesus when he started, well, where's this kingdom you're talking about? Where's this kingdom at? He says, you can't see it with human eyes. He said, the kingdom's within the heart. The kingdom's within the heart, and love is king. So that started a whole new paradigm, isn't it? Because they're looking out there as God sitting on a throne somewhere. And they're hoping they can get there if they give enough sacrifices and redemption. So he's changing the whole paradigm for them. You know, God is love. The kingdom's within. Love is the king of your heart. So that's the journey he's trying to take the people on. So hunger and thirst for justice is to seek. We got to seek for it. And because that's the way they lived, you know. Okay, you're hungry, you're going to go seeking for some food, right? You're thirsty, you're going to go seeking for something to drink. So those who hunger and thirst for justice or truth or righteousness, you got to seek it. You got to go for it. It's not going to come knocking on your door because you've already invited what you want at your door through your consciousness. So you got to change the way that you're thinking and seeing yourself and life and everything. And it's a very, very powerful, very, very powerful. So in the Aquarian, it says, go within and connect. And in the Aquarian it goes, blessed are those who live as God's child. They will see all as child of God, all equal. And that's one of the pure messages of Jesus, that we are one, we all are brothers and sisters of God, God is our Father, and we're all equal. And they hadn't been experiencing that in their history. So this is another thing. He's just trying to live it up. And then seek and you shall find. Another one of his promises, seek and you shall find. So if they want to, if we want to really begin to see or understand anything new, a new concept, we're going to have to seek. We're going to have to invest our energy, our time. And then be open to receive. And then once we do receive, to begin to walk the path. And what it was, he was trying to really instill a way of life for the people. Because their life was a way of laws, man's laws. And it wasn't happy for anyone either. And so he's trying to instill a way of life. And so to begin to solve the problems of life, he tried to guide them into their heart. Because within their heart was the answer that they were seeking for. He knew that you can't ask an unjust system to be what it's not. You can't ask an unjust system to be what it's not. And so they weren't going to change the outer. That was like his messiahship. They thought he was going to come to free them from the Romans because that was their last oppressor. It's not what it was all about. He came to free them from their faulty thoughts, their lower consciousness, into a greater awareness of their spirituality itself. So to hunger and thirst is to take this concept or this idea and then seek it out. But don't look for it out there. You're not going to find it there. Go within. Go within, because my kingdom isn't of this world. My kingdom's a spiritual kingdom. We're spiritual beings. And so to begin to look at like that. So to overcome a lot of things, we have to take the energy or the power out of something. Because for the most part, we're giving it power over ourselves. So if we want to overcome anything, we want to take the power out of it. So to begin to look at their life, so what they couldn't change a lot of the outer forms going through their life, all their outer experiences. But what they could change was the inner. To really begin to understand what's going on. Why am I really here? Why am I really here? And so Jesus was come on the scene and say, God's your Father. That's why you're here. You're a child of God. And to live like God. To be in the world but not of the world. You see? They'd been stuck in trying to live to the world, and even today we live in the world. We're trying to pull back out of it a little bit, to experience a little freedom and a little joy, a little justice in our own lives. But that's the step that he was leading them to take, and the step that we can even take today. Jay knew that true justice and goodness must come flowing from the hearts and minds of the people. See, they had to do it to be able to experience it. When in his travels when he was younger, he was in India, and this one master sage was telling this stuff, and he said, well, who told you that? It was their whole belief system. And he goes, oh, da, 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 da. And he said, Master, don't you know that man knows nothing by being told? Man knows nothing by being told. Be it. Live it. And to say, yeah, go seek justice. Go seek truth. Those are pretty cool words. But the only way we can understand justice and truth and righteousness is now to go within. Okay, what is justice to me? What is righteousness to me? What is truth to me? To begin to look at what does it mean to me? Because we're here right now. And then as we go within, and what's right for me might not be right for you. What might be just for you might be unjust for me. You see how we all have to come to resolution within our hearts so that we can navigate and not get sucked into the drama of man's creation. So going within, resolve what needs to be resolved within us. If we resolve, then that will dissolve the antagonism that we might be feeling in the outer. This is justice is real and alive in human consciousness. So that's within us. It's in human consciousness. It's ours to let it flow. It's ours to let it flow. And so this is what, I just want to read this one little part. And this is from Lamsa, Rocco's teacher, an Aramaic scholar. And it's in his book, Kingdom on Earth, Kingdom of Earth. Justice is another name for truth. And truth is something that stands the test and is durable. Anything less than truth fades away. A false ideology is introduced, and the one that came before it is forgotten. A nation with great power and human wisdom emerges, and another nation disappears and disintegrates. But justice and truth are unchangeable and eternal. Justice is as precious and necessary as the air that man breathes. When justice is flouted, human equilibrium is thrown out of balance. And when justice reigns in a land, everything functions well. The people are prosperous and happy, and the law is upheld. And the law is upheld. All men are created equal, endowed with the unalienable right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We all know justice in our heart. We can all see injustice in the world. Injustice doesn't make us feel good, does it? And who tells us that but our heart? No one has to tell us that. We can feel. We can feel the injustice of a brother and sister, or even the injustice to our planet. Now to begin to follow, what can I do about that in my world? What can I do about that in my life? You see? It's awful hard for one of us to go to the ocean and picking out pollution. But in consciousness, we have to hold a higher vision for a higher way. Jesus came to wake the people up to who they really were, to remind them, this is who you are. No matter your history, no matter your present circumstances, this is who you are. It's like, whew, the light comes to the planet. Wake up. God is love. God loves you. God's your Father. Okay? Go forth. Go forth. And live like that. Live as God's children. Taking them from a world of redemption and sacrifice into a whole new world. A whole new world which they don't have to do, but they're willing to participate in. When we begin to go within and look at the injustices we hold about ourselves. We all hold injustices about ourselves. We all hold untruths about ourselves within our consciousness. And that's what we get to experience. As within, so without. So that's why he was opening up the door for them, you know? You don't have to hold that slave consciousness any longer. I'm going to open up this door to God, to your Father, to spirituality, and show you how spirit can flow through your life, that you can transcend the limitations that man forces upon you. And the true gift, Jesus came to walk in this form, to walk the walk of man. He wanted to experience the highs of man, the lows of man, everything that man did, see? To show you can be in this world but not the world. You can own your spiritual identity and still be a man, you see? And that was a beautiful gift that he gave us all to show us that. This is who I am, and this is who you are. So we have to seek that. Seek that. Gosh, what's that all about? Well, to go within. Once we begin to go within, just like in our little meditation, we go within, breathe in God's love. Everybody breathes in God's love. God, I ask to feel your love. It's like, words, breathing God's love. Now, I ask to feel your love, Father. That's when it makes it real. When you can feel. Ask to feel God's love. Ask to know in your heart, not in a book. The book can maybe lead you to another door, but ultimately the million books that we all read lead us to our heart. Leads us to our heart. The Father within. The Father within. And as we begin to understand our truth, who am I? I am a son of God, daughter of God. I am spirit. Well, what does that look like? And that's when I was sharing about we hold injustices within our consciousness about ourselves. And those injustices limit who we really are. They limit our expression as spiritual beings on the planet. Ideas we hold about ourselves that are less than, unworthy. Any thought, belief, pattern that is less than the pure potential and unlimited nature of God is not the truth of who we are. And this is kind of radical in this day and age. Jesus came at the beginning of the Piscean age. We are living in the beginning of the Aquarian age. It's not that different. With the revolutionary new thought beaming us, expanding us into new ways of living. And we can all look back to 5 years and see how much the world's changed. And it changes and changes and changes, but it's expanding to greater. And as we begin to kind of accept that, embrace it, go within, what does this mean to me? We'll get the guidance of maybe a shift that we could make in our consciousness to allow us to move and flow with this energy instead of resisting it. Because if we resist it, we're going to feel pain, suffering. We're not going to. We'll feel the injustice of it all. How dare this energy try to move me when I don't want to? But to go within and recognize what we're doing to ourselves. What we're doing to ourselves. And then the beauty of it is that love that's within us. The love that within us will come to resolution and then dissolve. We resolve and then dissolve the faulty thought, belief, pattern, identity of who we are today. Who am I today? See, there's a good question for us. So, who am I today? And then to allow the universe, God, your higher self, to begin to channel into you maybe new ideas about who you are, what your life is, or what the world's all about. So that we can begin to function at a higher level of awareness, a spiritual level of awareness. To be in the world, but not of the world. My kingdom's not of this earth. We're doing the New Testament class now, and one of the phrases that made me laugh, Jesus says, "Why do you call me Lord and not listen to what I say?" Now, isn't that funny? Let's all laugh at that. Why do you call me Lord and not listen to what I say? Ha ha ha. That's my personal joke, I guess. But anyway, you see what I'm saying? To begin to take to heart some of the guidance that we have received from a beautiful being on the planet, our brother, to share with us how that we could lighten our load, you know. And the greatest gift that Jesus gave us, say, wasn't lifting and lightening our load. What was showing us that we could lift and lighten our own load. We could do it. Do you see? So now we're not victims. We're not enslaved to an ideology or a person, place, or thing. See, we have this within us. to seek justice for ourselves as a spiritual being on the planet. We're 2,000 years after this teaching. And it's pretty cool still. And it's a process. And man has been unhooking and walking out and from one life into another to get clearer and clearer and clearer. But to give us that new identity, understanding that we are a being of love. And as we allow that to grow and flow out into our life, that puts us in right relationship with all of life. God is love. God is in all. God is love. God is in all. That's oneness, one vibration. So when we get right with ourselves in that love vibration, we can come into harmony with life, with our brothers and sisters, with our planet, with the animals, once again. And it's simple, but the concepts that we have been given, human concepts, do not serve us. They can be tools, but they shouldn't guide us. Allowing our heart, that divine consciousness within, to guide us. We become right with the world, and the world becomes right with us. When we become right with the world becomes right with us. When we follow God guidance, it's all going to be worked out anyways, because it's our lesson. It's all going to be worked out anyways, because it's our lesson. Why'd we come here? To remember who we are, that we are love, and then to live that love. Live love. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, the counsel of God, which is love, and all things will be given unto you. You see? Take no thought. Big old word. Faith. Do I have faith to walk the walk? We had our brother shown us, Jesus. See? These things I do, you shall do these, and even greater. And it's just beautiful to begin to understand that we live in a time where we're being supported more than we even know. And if we just give ourselves a little bit more, give ourselves more chance, give ourselves more love, give ourselves permission to expand a little bit. And it's like we'll pop out of that cocoon and we'll sprout our wings and we'll be able to fly and transcend above the limitations. It's really neat to understand that, because it's all going to work out. It's all our lesson. So to begin to love the lesson, and we'll be able to understand the lesson. And then we can let it go. And we will be free, you see, to experience our righteousness, our love, our innocence, who we truly are, who we truly are. And just like when they say Jesus, the Lamb of God, wasn't that an innocent, gentle creature? And we all have that innocence within our heart. But we've had to put this shell on and protection and everything from the world and man. And Jesus threw it off. Walk like this. You can walk like this. And he walked as that innocent, gentle lamb, demonstrating his spirituality, his higher consciousness. And he always sought justice for his brother man. He could feel it. What a gift. Let's go within. And just close your eyes and just breathe once again. And as you breathe in, I want you to breathe and I want you to ride that stream of holy breath right down into your heart. Breathe and know that that's holy breath and just follow it right into your heart. And as you breathe, feel your energy, your consciousness moving into your heart, and find yourself in a beautiful garden, the garden of your heart. And notice this place, the beauty, the peace, the familiarity, the garden of your heart, that unconditional loving aspect, I am with you always. And as you walk through your garden or sit down on a boulder or lean against a tree, I want you to just ask that God's love fill you. Father, I ask that your love fills me. And I ask to see any injustice I hold about myself. Any untruth I'm still carrying. Just breathe in God's love and ask. Ask to see. Ask to know. And if you're ready to let it go, ask that it be lifted now. I ask that the injustice I hold about myself be lifted from my consciousness, be transmuted in light so that my life can be transformed. And just breathe in God's love and feel waves of love just sweeping over you. Just breathe and feel your unique vibration of love. This is who you are. This is who I am. Look around your garden. Notice the brightness. Notice the love. I am with you always. You can return anytime you choose. Become aware of a radiant column of light coming over you as you stand in your garden. And feel yourself being lifted, transported through time and space. Back into this room and feel your body sitting on your chair. Your consciousness anchored within your heart. The consciousness, I am, child of God. I am love. So just breathe and feel your energy. Be still and know. And just gently open your eyes. We can go to the garden as often as we like. And we can ask for whatever we want. For that is our connection. That's the essence of our energy, which draws to us everything in our life that we need. Everybody said, yay God. Yay God.